going on, friends? So I've just arrived at camp and I'm doing something that I kind of said I would not be doing all summer long, and that is to come out here and camp in 101 degree heat. But I got the new tent, guys. I got the new truck. I've got a couple of things that are hopefully going to make this trip a little bit more enjoyable than I'm going to show you, but I couldn't just sit at home. There's no way I can go the entire summer without camping. So I'm going to give it a try tonight. I'm kind of at a familiar spot. This is kind of what I'm going to consider my little test area, because I brought my first rooftop tent out here to this spot. I brought my original truck camper like 3 years ago out here to this spot, but it's just a really beautiful spot here right on the lake. We've got so much rain. This lake is so high. But gang, I'm gonna get my truck turned off right here and get this amazing AC cut off. And there is not going to be any fancy smancy quick cuts. I'm not going to get out and set the tripod up because it's too hot to waste that type of energy out here. So here we go, gang. We've got some people braving some kayaks way back behind me, but I'm gonna walk over here and I'm just gonna get my tripod set up. I'm gonna get this rooftop tent set up, and then I'm gonna kind of show you the lay of the land. It is, wow. I have never seen this lake up this high before. This is crazy, but let me get this stuff set up, and then I'm gonna show you what I brought to hopefully make this trip somewhat peaceful and somewhat enjoyable in 101 degree June Texas heat. Open sesame. Pillows. Oh. Whoops. There we go. Get some ventilation going on in here as quickly as I can. But I did bring an AC unit. Absolute necessity here in Texas, because if you don't have any type of AC, you just can't camp. Not when it's 100 degrees outside and the humidity is over 60, 70%. It's just, it's honestly just not, it's not safe to get out here and do this. So hopefully what I brought tonight is gonna work. Oh. All right. So let me show you folks the first thing that I got to hopefully make this trip a little bit nicer. So this does come with a 2-inch, this tent came with a 2-inch mattress. All rooftop tent mattresses, in my opinion, are kind of blah. My old rooftop tent, I got some foam padding and I put it on there and it worked, but honestly it still wasn't super comfortable. So I bought this big, huge guy right here. So I actually bought 2 of them. I was hoping that the other one that I got was gonna be here today, and it's actually gonna be here tomorrow. But this is a double wide, self-inflating foam mattress. It's obviously pretty big, but if it's gonna give me a good night's sleep, I don't mind, you know, having to do this. Get it out of the bag. You just kind of roll it up like a giant sleeping bag, like an old school sleeping bag. And, I gotta slow down. It's too hot. And I'm just gonna throw this up here and open up the valves and kind of let it inflate while we're out here enjoying this beautiful weather. But I also kind of wanted to show you guys and gals kind of my new setup that I'm trying to do this summer, at least, because the goal is to make it as easy and as quick to get in and out of camp and my house with this tent. So I went out and I bought a couple of storage boxes, I guess, and I'm trying to get everything that I need in 2 boxes, not including my chair, which we'll put out here. And this is for my AC unit. So my first storage box, I got these at Home Depot, and these are like the best toolboxes ever. This is one of the smaller ones, but this is all of my kitchen stuff, all of my propane, my grills, my utensils, spices, all that good stuff is in this box right here. So, you know, I can take this to the table or right here when I'm cooking on the back of my truck and, you know, have all of my kitchen stuff in one box. And then the bigger box is another rigid box. It's just a little bit bigger. And this has all the stuff that I don't need. Probably. It is filled to the max. In fact, I need to stick this. I got a couple of things to put up in the tent, but I got this Horizon Hound blanket. It's a down blanket. And I know that sounds crazy. It's 100 degrees up here, but I still like to have some kind of blanket to hold on to. I don't know. I know that sounds weird. Up there sleeping. I don't sleep good without anything, and this is pretty lightweight, and you can see how small it packs down. But I'm going to throw this up in the tent, and then I got a couple of lights to stick up in the tent too. Oh, what am I doing? It's so hot. There we go. Now all I need is some white New Balance shoes with grass stains on them, and I will complete dad mode for you folks. But this is going to go up in the tent. These little rechargeable lights are going to go up in the tent. And I'll deal with those when we get up there tonight. But anyway, so these are the 2 boxes. I got my big box, and I don't know if you guys are interested at all what kind of junk that I bring, but I bring a whole lot of junk. But I will need some electric cords for my AC, and I brought a giant fan. I'm going to get this out of the way. I brought a giant fan. We're going to need it. It's hot. That's basically it. And then I got my cooler for dinner tonight. But what we're going to be testing out tonight, guys, and this is my little power station for my cooler right now, but I got another AC unit. For the last couple of years, well, last year I used the little window AC unit in the back of my tailgate. Obviously, I don't have that type of setup anymore, so a little window AC unit obviously doesn't work in these tents. And I planned on using my Zero Breeze. I've had that thing for 2.5 years, and it works good. It's 2300 BTU. So I got this one to try out tonight. And yes, BougeRV, they did send this to me, and I'm not going to tell them no. It's a giant air conditioning unit. It's very similar to the Zero Breeze. But I'm going to try it tonight to see if it's going to work in 100-degree Texas heat. This is 4,000 BTUs. My Zero Breeze is 2,300. So this is much, much bigger. And if it can work tonight, then it should be able to work for anyone. But I want to test it out. I told them I would test it to see if it works. It's very similar to the Zero Breeze, except you get one extra hose for your intake, which is very important to kind of suck out the moisture up in that tent. But anyway, I'm going to get this thing set up, and then I'll show you what we're working with tonight. And then I've got a dinner that I've been looking forward to for about 6 weeks that I'm gonna cook tonight. Well, the way I have this thing set up is it is just snugged right in between my tent and the back of my truck, and I've got these two. This is the big intake hose that's going to suck air out from the inside of the tent, get all that moisture and humidity out. This is going to be the outtake. This is where the cold air is coming from. I have this thing set right now to 60 degrees, which is the coldest it can get. So I'm going to get this thing pulled in and kind of get it all situated and get this thing zipped up so we can start seeing how cool this little guy, or big guy, can make this tent. Because right now I'm dripping sweat. But hopefully this will work. But so far the mattress is working good. Like I said, I wish I would have gotten that other mattress in the mail today before I left, but I had to take off. But I think this is going to work out well. All right. I think that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it today. It's not pretty, but it's air conditioning in here. And I got to come up with a better way to kind of seal up the hoses, but that's cold air. And when it's 102 degrees outside, I don't really care how it looks, so. Whew. All right, well, I'm ready to get this first strip in this tent started. So I'm gonna head downstairs and we'll take a walk. I'm not walking very far. I'll walk about 10 feet and kind of show you what I'm looking at here, what I'm dealing with. And then, guys, we're gonna get dinner started pretty soon because I left late on purpose today. So I would try to avoid some of this heat, you know, the 2 and 3 o'clock heat. I didn't want to mess with it, so. Hair's looking good. Ready to rock and roll. All right, so I somewhat got my life sorted out. I know how ridiculous I look in this hat, but it's hot. So kind of let me show you what's going on. Got the fan here, so I can kind of come over here and catch a breeze if I want to. But the way that I've got that AC mounted, again, it's just in between my tent and the roof of my cab. When I get back home and I resituate this, I'm probably gonna move the bars down about 2 inches because I barely have enough room and I don't want to scratch anything. So that's gonna be one fix. And one obvious inherent downside to this setup that I can see right now is that I don't have anywhere to put an awning. I got to figure something out. I started kind of looking at those moon shades, those like portable kind of just tarps that have like tent poles that you put up, because the awning that I have, I don't have anywhere to put it because my tent opens up the other way. So yeah, having an awning would be great, especially in the summer, to give me some shade. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get that awning situation figured out, because it's pretty important. But overall, it's a pretty sleek little setup. I do like this tent a little bit more than my top oak, simply because I have way more room up in this thing, kind of like I explained when I showed you guys what it was. And especially with that mattress up there, now I got the AC piped in to the side. I'm gonna forget these. So I'm pretty happy with this setup. Just unfortunately it is 105 degrees outside now, but, oh. Guys, this water is up so much. I've been here quite a few times and I have never seen water that is just a mosquito haven. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's water. That's just algae and junk on top. Just stagnant water. All right, well, I'm gonna kind of relax here and catch my breath. Then we're gonna get dinner going. All right, I think after about 4 gallons of water, I have earned myself my little treat that I brought. And I think it's gonna be pretty good. Nice, ice cold, super refreshing Rumple Mints. When I went to the liquor store to get this, I had to ask for it. I couldn't find it. And the lady at the liquor store kind of looked at me and she was like, "How old are you?" Because apparently this is very old school. Kids don't drink it these days, but to me, nice cold Rumple Mints, man, it tastes just like brushing your teeth. Super cold and refreshing, so cheers to the Rumple. Chills. I'll take chills in this heat any day, so good to go. But guys, I'm not kidding. I was not kidding when I said I've been looking forward to this dinner for 6 weeks. When we went to the grasslands, we had a really great couple come out and meet us and cook us dinner, Paula and Casey from Black Truck Adventures. They made us street tacos, and I've been thinking about them every day since. No joke. So I'm gonna try my version of street tacos tonight, and hopefully they turn out half as good as what Paula and Casey made for us on that trip, but they were so good, so we're gonna give it a shot tonight. I got the best stuff that I could find, so hopefully it'll turn out okay. But I gotta get my, let's get the stove and stuff out. out of my kitchen tote. And naturally, everything that I'm going to need, of course, will be in the very bottom. I spoiled myself and bought myself a Jetboil pan. I've just been needing a really good pan, and this got pretty good reviews. Of course, naturally, I watched a few YouTube videos on it, but it seemed to do pretty good. And speaking of Jetboil, I've been eyeballing the, I think they call it the Genesis. I don't know. I can't remember what they call the Jetboil stove, but it's like 300 bucks, and I just can't see spending the money on that. And then I found this. It's pretty much just like the Jetboil. This comes from Naturehike, but it's a 2-burner stove. And again, it's essentially almost just like the Jetboil. So you got two burners here. And then if you want, you even got a little tiny griddle pan that you can put over it and kind of cook like a chicken breast or a hamburger patty or something. But this one was 100 bucks. Way cheaper than that Jetboil thing. So I'm going to be giving this a try tonight, and it's isobutane only. You can probably get an adapter and use propane, but I brought an isobutane, and it actually does have a handle. I took the handle off though, so it fits in here. But we're gonna be cooking our street tacos off of this guy tonight, and oh goodness, it is in the very bottom. Got myself a really cheap little mini cast iron skillet pan thingy. So this is what's going to be cooking most of the meal tonight, along with the Jetboil little pan. So I think that's it. I'm sure I'm going to find something else that I need. Yep. Cutting board, stir stick, knife. That should be good, guys, right? Should be good. And this thing does have a piezo ignition too, so you don't need to bring a lighter. It'll light itself. And then I just got a little piece of 1/4-inch wood, essentially, to stick this stove on. It doesn't get hot underneath, but just in case. So I got all kinds of goodies in this cooler for this meal. But the star of the show is marinated New York strip, cut into really thin slices. And of course, you guys know this, but you got to cut cross grain to make it really super tender. So we got our New York strip up there. Got the corn tortillas, avocado oil, butter, Worcestershire, I think that's how you say it. And then for dessert, I'm treating myself. Massive Hershey bar. So I'm gonna do partial sauteed onions, and then of course we got to do the raw onions since they're street tacos. Those will be for sauteing. Now I'm just going to cut a few more because you got to have raw onions with your tacos. Raccoons are going to love me tonight. All right. All right, now for the fresh jalapeno. And yeah, I know this is probably a stupid pansy little thing to do, but I really don't want to get jalapeno juice on my hands, and then I wipe the sweat off my face. I just broke my glove, so that's gonna work out well. My hands are too sweaty. Put these in the grill or pan. Oh, I can smell those already. Hope I didn't ruin this. And one of the good things about this thing is that you can really make that flame small, which makes simmering really pretty easy. So let's put a little bit of avocado oil in it. Let's get some garlic. And of course, some butter. All right, these are almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and get this New York strip going. Oh, tell me that doesn't look fantastic. Wow. All right. New York strip, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce on it. And I've already got some salt and pepper, but we're going to go ahead and put some garlic on it. It's so tender, it's like falling apart when I just try to move it. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Okay. I think the onions are done. I'm going to put them in some foil to keep them warm. I'm going to keep those jalapenos cooking for a little bit. The 105-degree heat out here today smells like it's worth it. love me some feta cheese. Two is definitely not going to be enough for this guy, but hopefully I can get these in focus. Look at those tacos. Is that in focus? I'm going to cover this up so bugs don't get it, because I'm coming back for more very quickly. All right. I don't think you folks know exactly how excited I am for this, but a little bit of Tabasco, some nice cold fresh water. I'm going to dig into this thing. Well, first bite's one of those jalapenos with about 40 seeds. So, cheers. No exaggeration at all. In the 2 years I've been doing this, this is the best meal I've ever cooked. I think that feta cheese really adds a lot to it. So Casey, if you're watching, and Paula, hope I did your recipe justice. I didn't bring enough meat. So I was telling my wife when I went to the store to pick all the stuff up, I got the New York strip, tortillas, onions, lime. I forgot the lime. I don't even need a lime. I got everything to make this meal for $16.50. So this is a fairly cheap meal too. It's the best thing I've ever eaten. Other than Paul and Casey's tacos, of course. Really kind of disappointed in myself that I only had enough meat for 3 tacos, but absolutely outstanding. Alright gang, well chores are done, dishes are put away, I got a full belly. No kidding guys, the absolute best dinner I've made on one of these trips I think. So I think that deserves a celebratory dessert shot. A little bit more rumple while I enjoy the shade and about 92 degrees heat now. Well, gang, I'd say that's a pretty successful little first shakedown trip of this new tent. Now, I'll let you folks know in the morning if it truly was worth it, but fantastic dinner. Setup was extremely easy, and it's cooled down a little bit. It's around 88 degrees now, but I snuck up in the tent after dinner to put some stuff up in there for tonight, and I can tell you, it feels fantastic in there. Way much better than it does in here, so I think I'm gonna call it a night, gang. I'm gonna crawl up in that tent and get some fresh clothes on, do a little dude wipe bath up there in the privacy of my own rooftop tent. And I'll check back in with you here in just a little bit. So far, 3 things that I've noticed. The first, most important, is that it is cold in here. Cold might be a stretch, but when I'm used to 100 degrees outside, I came in here. I wish I brought a thermometer. I didn't bring a thermometer, but I took my shirt off and I kind of laid down, and it was cold on my back because these KLYMIT pillows that I got have kind of like that nylon cover on them to kind of keep them clean, which you can do this too, which makes these really fun. You can kind of turn them inside out, and then you've got t-shirt material that makes it a little bit more comfortable. And you literally like shake the pillow down. So now you got like a nice cloth to put your head on, and you just fold this thing back under it. And there you go. And I'm gonna do that to this pillow. The other thing that I've noticed is that I've got, it might not look like it because it is a little bit not as tall as my other tent, but I've got loads of room in here. Tons of room, tons more room it feels like. It might not be that much more room, but it feels so much bigger. I guess because the back is not at such of an angle. I don't know, but it just feels like I have all kinds of room. And I brought these little, they're actually under cabinet little LED lights. I brought these in here thinking I might need them, but let me show you folks how bright this light is up here. It's way brighter than my other tent. I have this on like the lowest setting, but I can crank this thing up. I mean, that's bright. I definitely don't need it that bright. So I don't think I need any extra lighting in here. The other tent was pretty hard to light inside, so that's actually, that's good there. But I'm glad I brought my blanket. I'm gonna need it because I've got this thing right here by my head. I don't know if that's getting in this shot, but I'm gonna sleep good. So again, I think this, I got this from Hound. This is just a little kind of lightweight packable blanket. And I'll be able to store this in the tent. That's why I got this blanket, because you squish it up to nothing and it'll fit wherever. And it just fits in here in this little bag. And it's gonna be warm and kind of cool when it's hot, because it's got that, I don't know what this material is, but it's, I don't know. I just like to have a blanket with me when I sleep. So this is going to be good for the tent, because again, I can pack it up in the tent when I leave, and I don't have to worry about you know, bringing a blanket, bringing pillows, everything's stored in the tent now, unlike my other setup where I had to bring all of my bedding. So I'm glad I brought that. Easy peasy night, guys. Pretty good little shakedown trip. Pretty happy with how everything's going so far, and this mattress is leaps and bounds better than what I did on my previous tent. And that was use the Rooftop tent mattress, and then on top of that I put a, I think I'd end up going with a 2-inch thick memory foam cut to size, and it still was not as comfortable as this that I bought. Again, the only problem is I don't think I can keep this in the tent because it doesn't close down enough. I do have that other mattress coming that I want to show you folks on the next trip, now that I know I can do this in the heat, because this is working really, really well. I'll show you the mattress that I think I'll be able to inflate up to 4 inches and then suck all the air and foam down to pretty much nothing, and be able to store it in the tent. But overall, super happy with this little setup. I even brought my fan, my extra fan up here, thinking that I would need it. It's gonna get put over here on the side. And I don't know if you folks can hear, hopefully those frogs won't be going all night long, but they're like right on the other side of my tent, and they are crazy loud. Anyway, my friends, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching up to here. So we should have a really good time lapse tonight. The Milky Way is going right in front of me. No clouds in the sky, so hopefully that turns out good. But I'm gonna figure out how to turn these lights off. There we go, Brian. Got the movie I bought, Civil War, that new movie that just came out. Looked kind of interesting, so I bought that. We're gonna watch that tonight, and see you in the morning. Thanks for watching. Morning. Well, I can confirm that was probably the best night of sleep I've had while doing this rooftop tent camping. The only problem is I had to open up this window because it got too cold in here. And the only thing is there's not like a remote or anything for this AC unit. So I had to open up this window to let some of that cold air out. But I pretty much slept underneath this blanket the whole night because it got cold. Which is, you know, just a good thing. So, but birds are out in full force this morning. So, well, really good night's sleep. The mattress worked out great. So, pretty pleased with how everything turned out for this trip. I guess now the fun part is get everything packed up and headed home. So I'm gonna work on getting this stuff put up and taken down and meet you guys outside. Gang, coffee is poured behind me. Probably tell, but I'm definitely gonna have to open this tent up when I get home. There's a ton of condensation on it. And I guess it has to do with the fact that I was so, you know, that it was so cold inside and it's so muggy and sticky outside, but that thing is gonna have to get opened up and dried out when I get home before I keep it in for storage for a few weeks. But overall, guys, trip went great. Dinner was fantastic. And I just love the spot. I know I've been here a few times, but it's kind of hard to beat that when you wake up in the morning. So the sun's just barely poking out over here. We're probably gonna miss it. I'm leaving a little bit earlier than I thought, but there's no clouds, so I'm gonna say it probably wouldn't be a great sunrise anyway. That's what I'm gonna go with. But gang, thanks so much for hanging out with me for the evening, and we will see you next weekend when we take the big RV out. So until next time, guys, stay tuned and thanks for watching.